Welcome back to Roosevelt Live Season 2. In the last segment, we talked about the Tyler Perry issue on Oprah Winfrey and how he was abused as a child. And it kind of leads into the segment of this show right here. And a guy by the name of Charles McGill, he was an award-winning director, MTV award winner, director for directing the video for the Fugees' Killing Me Softly. I'm sure everybody's familiar with the song. I think it's a remake of the song, but I'm sure everybody's familiar with the song. And but the guy, I mean, even though people thought on the surface that he was a good guy, we assumed that, you know, he had came up in the world and, you know, he winning awards and directing videos and stuff like that. And this goes to show that no one knows nobody, because this guy's actually a lunatic. That's right, he's a lunatic. He's a psycho, crazy lunatic. You may wonder, if you don't know the story, why am I saying that? Well, it's simple. He's just recently been charged in New Jersey for raping his 3 daughters, raping them to the tune of 6 children. 6 children he literally delivered himself, he said. So not only he raped them, he caused them to carry children by their own father. And then that wasn't good enough. He says he did it because, quoting the news article, that because he wanted to secure a pure bloodline. Whatever that means. Makes no sense. Doesn't justify anything. Matter of fact, it's absolutely ridiculous. If, you know, I'm not really a big death penalty type of guy, because I feel too many people get the death penalty that maybe shouldn't. But in this case, it's a death penalty case. Anybody that takes their kids and molest them, or rapes them, and have them to bore 6 children by him, and then him sits there like he's some type of midwife and delivers them children himself, and forces them to have to look at and be in that situation every day. This happened from the mid-'80s to 2002. We're talking about going on a good average of 15 years perhaps of this guy creating these type of abuse, mentally, emotionally, and physically abuse on his daughters. And that wasn't good enough. According to the article, he had 9 kids by his ex-wife, and then another 2, they say, in Brooklyn by another 2 women. So this diseased individual, this germ of a person, is out spreading, unfortunately, what God gave us, his ability to have children, to his own children, and to the tune of what, 17, 16 kids, maybe even more, who knows? And this guy is 51 years old now, and he acts as though nothing even happened, like it's no big deal. It's humongous. It's terrible, matter of fact. And I just can't imagine someone being in that situation and not thinking it's a big deal. The guy's obviously a sicko, and I'm not for castration, but hey, you know what? Sometimes, every now and then, in an unperfect world, some of this stuff, you know, I can see myself closing my eyes and saying, yeah, I can agree with somebody coming in and abusing this guy and doing what you need to do to get this guy under control. I mean, he needs to never get out of prison. And like I said, I know that people don't normally get executed for crimes that are not murder. But in this case, they should make an exception. Because these children right here, they've been ruined. Their whole life has been ruined. They will never be the same. They will never be able to function in society as a person that's going to be able to get by. We already got problems in the world. Can you imagine your daughters having her own father babies, and then him delivering the babies like he done something great? Who could? And then where was the wife at that time? I didn't understand what was going on. I mean, something had to be reported. I think the daughter actually reported him. Nobody else reported anything. And this guy was out here shooting videos and doing things. At the same time, he was abusing and raping his daughters, I guess, on a daily basis. I mean, it's pathetic. It makes me want to regurgitate. Let's just use that word instead of the word I would like to use. When I hear stuff like that, and it's a sad day in this country. People are able to, and you think you know people, you don't know nobody, because you never know what people are doing. Because who would have thought that guy was out there doing what he was doing? When people was out there handing him awards and shaking his hand and hiring him to do jobs. And even though it's no reflection on the Fugees, but I know it must make them sick to their stomach to know that they worked with somebody that was out there raping his daughters on a daily basis. And then I almost walk around beating his chest like he was proud of it. You know, trying to secure a pure bloodline. What does that mean? That don't even make any sense. His bloodline is not pure. How are theirs going to be pure? That's stupidity. And just to make the second he made the statement showed that the guy is absolutely off his rocker. He needs to be tortured. I know somebody might say torture. You know, hey, look, what he did to those girls from a physical and emotional standpoint, I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what it must be like, and don't want to imagine what it must be like, first of all, to be being raped by your own father, and then be pregnant by the person that perpetrated the rape on you, and then that person then getting down there and delivering the babies himself, like it's like a proud father, like he has something to be proud of, that he's going to take care of the delivery of the baby himself. I mean, that's sick. It's one of the sickest things I think I've heard in the years that I've been on this earth, that someone would do something like that. Now, those children got to endure that. And unfortunately for them, the babies that they look at is a constant reminder of what he did to them. What does that sound like? Your brother or your sister is your son or your daughter? Because that's how it goes. Because if the father had kids, it would be the siblings, sisters, or brothers. So now your children is deemed your sister and your brother. I mean, it's just crazy. Obviously, they're your children because they can't be deemed a sister or brother. But I'm just saying, in theory, when you look at things in a twisted way. But for them to have to now raise those kids, look at those kids every day, and I hope that the children don't get punished for it, because sometimes it's almost impossible for people to deal with these issues and not take it out on the children. And hopefully the innocent children don't get abused, because I don't think no one would want it to happen. But I think it'd be hard to hold those people accountable under those circumstances. I mean, it's just sick, make me sick to my stomach every time I hear about it. And unfortunately, in this country, you know, all these people they have a right to counsel and all this other stuff, and yada yada yada, that kind of crap. But some of these people don't deserve any counsel in my mind. I know we gotta stick by the rules. I know everybody got a right to, you know, have a defense or whatever. But what defense do you have? What is your defense? I'm crazy. That's not a defense. I suffer from mental illness. We already know that. That's not a defense. I was trying to, like he said, create a pure bloodline. That's not a defense. So it's no defense to what he did. None. I say, in my opinion, he should be executed. What will that do? I don't know. How do the kids feel today? I don't know. Their minds are probably so messed up, so twisted. They probably in all kind of therapy. If they're not in therapy, they need to be in therapy, because they're never going to be able to function in society. God forbid, what's going to happen if they are able to raise those children? Then what? Who are they going to tell? Oh, by the way, my son is actually my father's child. I mean, it's sickening. Those stories tie together in a lot of ways, because there's an abuse story. Tyler Perry had an abuse story. This is an abuse story, and this is one of the abuse stories, one of the worst kind. I mean, well, I don't want to make it any. I mean, they're all bad, and there's no good in any of them. But it's just when I read the article, and I researched the information, it made me sick to my stomach, and I thought about it, and I sit there and I pondered on it, and I looked at that article, and I just sat there in front of my computer for a while thinking about how sad that must be for those daughters that been put in that situation, and where was the mother of those daughters when that was going on? Where's her accountability? He was married to some lady for 9 years. What was she the one? I don't know. Was she the one at the time he was abusing these children? Somebody had to know something, because there's no way, unless he was the only parent there, there's no way a mother was in that home and did not know 3 daughters had 6 kids and don't know where the fathers were and don't know how they became pregnant. And they had to know something if the father is delivering the babies, like he's a midwife. I mean, come on. How many fathers deliver their daughters' babies? Normally that doesn't happen. Something like that going on, it must be an emergency, and the baby is coming right then and there, and there's nobody there but dad. And he probably faint. But, and it's not funny, so I'm not saying that as in making fun of the situation, because it's nowhere near a joke, that's for sure. I mean, when I like I said again, I want to keep repeating myself, but when I saw the article and I read the story and I researched information, it just floored me that there's some sick people in this country. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know what makes people so demented to do things of that nature, and then create all these kids out there. And like I said, it's at least 16, 17. That's the count they gave. It might be even more than that. But when he goes to trial, the judge needs to throw the book at him. Now, I understand he's never been in prison. Obviously, don't have no intent to go in there. But I understand that rapists is one of the low, and child molesters on the lowest form as far as going to prison that people don't like. And so maybe he'll get his right back at him. And when I say back at him, no pun intended. But maybe he'll get his right back at him.